This is a video to help you finish your annotated bibliography. You may want to come back to this more than once. You should have this handout talking about the 4 parts of each annotated bibliography. Remember that you need 8 to 10 separate annotated bibliography items. I'm going to go over each part of the annotated bibliography. As you can see, you've got examples here that you can kind of follow as well. Now, at the top of the annotated bibliography, and this is only on the first page, you will not need to do this on every page, you'll put the standard heading that you put on the first page of your paper, your name, my name, English, and then the date. Okay, so that will be there. Then you'll title this annotated bibliography. And once again, that title that you see here will only be on the first page. Double space throughout, as you do in all your MLA documents. Okay, the first item that we want to look at is the proper MLA citation. Now, that will come from your research. So I'm going to pull this over here, and I've pulled up, I'm on Academic Search Complete, and I've looked up Flannery O'Connor, Good Man is Hard to Find, and I'm going to go down to this, the moral structure. So I click on this, okay. And what I want to find here, I want to go over to the Citation tab. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go down to MLA. Now, as we discovered in class, the MLA citation right now, for whatever reason, is not exactly right. That's okay. We're going to highlight that, and we're going to go copy, and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to here. Now, I realize I'm going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to open up a new document just so that you'll just so you can see how I'm going to do this, because this is important. Now, you will normally, and remember, it's probably best to go to the MLA paper to try to find that and go over the classic results. So I'm going to create that way. You'll have basic things, and then of course your heading will be up here, but we're not going to worry about that. You saw that, see that on the other. So now I want to right click on this, and you see I got my paste options. If I do this, that's going to give me that, which will be pretty useless. I can't use it. If I go to that, that's going to take all the formatting out. So I'm going to click on this middle one. Okay, and that will give me this. Now, to make this in proper MLA format, as you see over here, it is in, one thing that is correct on the citation is it is in hanging indent format. So we want to do that. So I will highlight this to highlight the whole thing, and I'll go to my paragraph tab, and then I will go, I want to double space like I have. I'll go to Special and click Hanging Indent. And what that will do is that will put it in the proper format. Okay, so we've got that. Now you want to make sure when you put your notations on there that you still don't have it on Hanging Indent. We just want this to be in Hanging Indent. We'll talk about that more later. So that's the citation part of it. Pretty simple. You just copy and paste it out of the database. If you've got, do not use the Word software, but if you've got other citation software, certainly feel free to use it. The reason I want you to use the Word is a couple of reasons. I don't really think it works well, and also I can't get in there and edit it once you've done it, so we don't want to do that. Okay, now we've done the proper MLA citation. Our next step is a summary of the essay, particularly as it relates to whatever your topic is. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to this. You'll have to read the essay to get a summary of it. However, a good starting point is the abstract. Presents a review of 10 stories in A Good Man is Hard to Find. A Good Man is Hard to Find. Moral structure of A Good Man is Hard to Find. Review A Good Man is Hard to Find. So we know now that this actual particular essay is going to talk about all 10 stories in the book A Good Man is Hard to Find. So obviously we just need We just need the stuff that's going to be about our particular story. Now, you have a choice here of HTML or PDF. I would always recommend looking on the PDF if you have that opportunity. So we're going to pull that up. So it gives you page numbers. Okay. And then we'll scroll through. And what we'll do is make sure, I see the misfit is mentioned here. And you can go through if you want to. And let's say you're writing on the misfit, you can just type misfit up here. I hit Control F. And it will find, well, I may have to download the particular, I guess I'm going to have to download if I want to do that. But you could just read through and find the parts. If I download it, I can use that Control F. So let's do this. Desktop. Constant server. Okay, and then hopefully I can do Control F here. Or just hit the search button. And let's go to misfit. And, well, it doesn't seem to want to read it. So sorry about that. But you can read through and just summarize the part of it that seems to be relevant to you. That's all you need to do. You don't have to summarize the entire article. Okay, so that's step 2. And as you see in the example, you can see that the student here has summarized the particular part out of this particular essay that the student feels like that he or she might use. Now the next is purely optional. It isn't required, but if you go ahead and do this, then you will be able to use it in your paper. So what you would do is you would find a particular quote out of there you want to use, put it in quotation marks so you'll know that it in fact is a quotation. So on the second one, we have a good example of that. The ruthless manipularity, blah, 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 in quotation marks, and then there's a page number. Be sure and put the page number. Now, if you look at the PDF, you will have page numbers. If you're looking at an HTML document, you will not have page numbers, so you have to count down and put down the paragraph number. And just for your reference right now, put PAR period and the paragraph number. Page number you just put in parentheses. Okay, so that is not required, but it will be most helpful for you as you're putting together the paper. Now finally, so 1, 2, and 4 are required. 3 is optional, but I would highly recommend it. If you don't have any 3s in there, I won't count off for it, but it'll be real helpful when you go to write your paper. Now the final and most important step that many students leave out is how you might use your particular essay. How that might use this in your particular essay. And because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through and tell you what might be useful, it's important for me to know how to use it. Now obviously you won't be able to complete this until you sort of get a direction of where you're going. But for the time being, in our first 1 or 2 that we're going to do, fill this out as best as you can. When you get your final annotated bibliography, which we do next week, you'll need to be a little more refined on that. But you'll want to say, and this should be just 1 sentence. I just want 1 sentence here. That's all. I don't want a lot, but I don't want it to be, I will use this in this essay to show that the misfit is bad. And I may be more specific than that. What point of what you want to make do you think you'll contribute? This will contribute to. You don't have to be exact. You don't have to say in paragraph 4 of my paper, I will use this quotation to prove exactly this. You don't need to be that specific, but you need to be more than just a really general comment. Okay. Now, once you do that, you'll start all over again and do the next one. Just double space. You don't begin on a new page. Okay. Now, I want to show you something about formatting on here. So let's go back. We've already put in our, well, let me just highlight this so you won't have to. We've already put in our citation in proper MLA format. So let me highlight this and show you So this is what it would look like if you typed it in. So you just regularly type this in. This is the summary. There's the quotation, how I might use this. Okay, and this is what it would look like. As you can see, it's sort of difficult to read. So once you've done that, because remember, don't leave it in a hanging indent because you don't want the entire thing to look like this. Okay. If I leave it all on hanging, then it will all look like this. And, well, it's not going to change that. But you don't want to do that. And by the way, each annotated bibliography entry with all these things, the summary, all that should be one paragraph. It should not go over one paragraph. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that paragraph. And then I'll go to here. And what I will do, if it will let me, I want to indent it by 1/2 inch, okay? Now, unfortunately, because of this is already set up by 1/2 inch, because I have it on hanging. Okay, let's try first line there. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, so if you see here, I've got it highlighted, and then I went from something that looked like this, which is a little difficult to read, and I just simply go in. I've highlighted just that and not the whole thing, just that part, okay? And I want to go over here, and where it says left indentation, I want to go 1/2 inch, 0.5, and that will just move it over, and it looks nice and pretty. You'll do that with each of your entries. You're looking for 8. Now I'm going to ask you over the next few days to go ahead and just do one entry. And I'll put a drop box up for it. Go ahead and put your header at the top and your title, Annotated Bibliography, and just do one. I'll review that and see if you're on the right track before I get you to do 8 of these. But if you want to go ahead and get started and get more than one done, just submit the one so we can make sure the formatting is correct. But remember, sometime next week, you're going to have 8 to 10 of these at a minimum. Anything less than 8, and you'll be counted off substantial points. If you go over 8, that's great because you'll have extra to do. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, email me, text me. I'll be glad to explain it further. But this is your basic summary of how to put together the annotated bibliography. Good luck, and I look forward to reading your examples soon.